honors his father who raised him his whole life. That's the reason why you got sisters, in college and all of that. And their father could have put them through college.
Right.
But who are they honoring more? They're honoring the professor more, who they spent the crying dime to send them through college, while they father worked till his hands was full of arthritis, so that they could go to college. And then you know what? They get out of college with their treacherous behinds, and they say, "I did this all myself." Sisters got that bad, real bad. They got it even worse than the brothers do.
Right.
They got that bad. They say that I'm independent and I did this all myself when their fathers put them through college. And let him have a word of correction or reproof to them about anything. They'll flip out on him, and they can remember everything, bad thing what they perceive as bad about him having another woman outside of her mother, and she'll bring that up. She'll even belittle him, call him a no good nigga, and even she'll go even further than that. She'll call her own father boy, master. You know what I'm saying? She'll call him boy and monkeys and all of that. I done seen this stuff. She'll sound just like him, whom she really looks at as her father for real, which is that white man.
Right.
Had them to be their enemies and avengers, whose customs they follow so earnestly, and to whom they things up that sound like today.
Right.
I'm gonna read that part again. This is a reason whereof sore calamity came upon them, sore destruction, whose customs they follow so earnestly. We follow the white man's customs so earnestly. Like, think about it. Outside of, we try and do the same thing white people do, and try and act all crazy just because, and what happens, like my nephew one time, he's walking with his girlfriend, he acting all like one of those white dudes and all of that, right? And his girlfriend was real ass right over, stopped him and everything and threw him down on the damn concrete. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that he's wilding out on this white looking girl.
All right.
So earnestly, and unto whom they desire to be like in all things, including speaking their tongue. And this is the reason why you have brothers, and sisters out there that'll try and correct you on a misspelling. If you're battling somebody on Facebook or whatever, they so quick to try and point out a misspelling or something like that, or the way that you said something. If you talking to them in person, the way that you said something, your dialect and all of that. But then I just hit them with the question, "What's your language? What's yours?" That's like if you got a man out there and there's 100 people in the room and he can name every person in the room, and you thinking, all right, this dude's pretty sharp. But then if you find out, you ask him his name and he says he doesn't know his name, dumb. He can name all of this and tell who all of these people are, but he cannot tell you anything about who he is at all.
All right.
This dude is a slave. He can't tell you what his language is, but he can tell you about someone else's language. He can speak 3 languages. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's a scholar when it comes to, anybody else's language but his own language. He doesn't know. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to go to the next 3 letters. In the ancient Hebrew, which reads right to left. Now look at these. These are the next. This is Wa, Za, and Ka.
All right.
These are the next 3 letters. When you look at the alphabet of the Lashon Kodash in the ancient Hebrew, this is Ka. This is Za. This is Wa. Our language is more dead on. It's less confusing. You see what I'm saying? Our language is less confusing than the English language and Spanish and all of that. We have a dead on, more straight to the point type of language. Now, we're going to go to Matthew chapter 23 and verse 15. Now, think about it. With all of that, of us despising our own languages and our own culture, and what do? We go, it's often funny because we despise it, but once we get something, we want to run it right to the white man, right? We run it right to the white man and try and get a couple of peanuts for it or something. You know what I'm saying? We want to go teach them.
Right.
Or we want to go to Africa. You know what I'm saying? You got brothers in the hood 2 blocks up that you can teach. But the first thing you want to do is store up your money and then run right over to the land of doo-doo and flies, or the people that is not your people at all. And you want to go teach them. Well, that trend is not nothing new. We're going to go to Matthew chapter 23 and verse 15. Matthew chapter 23 and let me see if I want to start earlier than that. I can start at 14. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye devour widows' houses. Now think about it for a second. You know, they devoured the widows' houses, and then at the same time too, what they really about too is also break on, just like it's that scripture right there, right? For ye devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye compass sea and land to make one proselyte, flying right over the people, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That they supposed to be actually teaching, you know, flying right over them and going to somebody else, right? For ye compass sea and land. Where is Africa compassing? Sea and land, right? Where's Ghana? You got to compass